Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Time for a review. Earth, Angels of Darkness and Demons of Light 2. Earth is an experimental rock band led by guitarist Dylan Carlson. They've been putting out LPs since the early 90s, and over the years, they have put out some of my all-time favorite records. These guys are incredibly influential when it comes to the heavier side of rock music, helping to pioneer the droney offshoot of doom metal, drone metal. They're incredibly influential to drone artists like Boris, like Sun, and the sounds that they put out in their records are pretty much the precursor to the heaviest and newest sounds out there today in sludge and doom metal. You could downplay the role that this band has played in music if you like. I do know that this band's music is not for everyone, but Earth and groups like the Melvins too are an undeniable part of why we hear so many heavy and low-end frequencies in rock music today. Albums like Earth 2 or Phase 3, as inaccessible as those albums can be, they really kind of opened up new possibilities for how loud or how heavy and bassy a record could sound, in a way that kind of sidesteps various styles of noise music. Now over the years, the band has been evolving its sound. They made a big change after a short hiatus in 2005, coming back with a sound that was still slow, still brooding, pretty droney too, but had kind of a country, western, Americana style laced into the music. The music had a lot of twang to it, some banjo, some pedal steel, trombone and tubular bells mixed into the music too. Earth was definitely seeking out new ways to explore their love of very slow and ambient music. Now the apex of this new sound for me was the 2008 album Bees Made Honey in the Lion's Skull. Love that album. One of my favorites in this band's discography. It's, to me, the most melodic out of all the albums that is done in this style, and features some fantastic musicianship from guest guitarist Bill Frisell. That album just shines. It sparkles. It's just got so much sheen on it. And you know, it's hard for me not to turn this review into a review of this album, so I'm just gonna keep going. Now, Angels of Darkness, Demons of Light 1, the follow-up to Bees Made Honey in the Lion's Skull. That LP started bringing things in a slightly different direction. I'm kinda lukewarm on this LP nowadays, and it's mostly because of not just the incorporation of cello on this album with Earth's new sound, their new style, but really the way the cello was mixed into the music. The cello just had a lot of bass on it. It just ended up muddying up the bass guitar and the six-string guitar too. I feel like a lot of great things about this LP did not translate because things just felt so dull, felt so opaque, I guess. This is the second installment of Angels of Darkness, and of course, because I wasn't too hot on the first installment, I went into this thing kind of worrying. How many similarities is this going to have with its predecessor? Will it get rid of the things I didn't like and enhance the things that I did like? Right off the bat, I did hear some great improvements on this LP. The guitar and the cello, they feel like they're mixed differently now in a way where they actually complement each other and they're not battling for the same spot in the mix. They're not at odds. Now they really enhance one another, in my opinion. The guitars and the bass carry that low end like they should, and the cello kind of sticks to bringing these really pretty textures into these songs. Another thing I liked about this LP was the first track. It may just be 3 minutes, but the guitar tone on that song is stellar. If guitar tone was a precious metal, then this is gold. This is platinum. It sounds so good. It's like listening to, I don't know, just a pretty beautiful stream or babbling brook or something. It just feels so gorgeous, very warm, really shiny, really resonant. I feel like that's where this album really stops amazing me. Earth has definitely worked out the logistics of incorporating this new instrument and putting together music for this two-part series. But stylistically and musically, I feel like Earth is just kind of treading water on this LP. Nearly every song here just sounds like I'm listening to a slightly altered version of a song that I've heard played on previous Earth albums. These guys are pretty much just jamming on recycled grooves and guitar phrases. And in a way I can appreciate that. You know, there are plenty of older jazz records that if you bought them, they had alternate takes of songs on the album. Mostly because the solos, the improvisations, the interplay was so good that it made each take worth listening to. However, the stuff on this LP is being billed as new material. And while it is to an extent, at the end of the day, it just kind of feels like a repurposed compilation of songs from Earth's previous releases. The differences I do pick up on this LP I do like. I love that weeping cello in the background on the Multiplicity of Doors. And the guitar chords improvised around that track, around the 8:49 minute mark, are beautiful. Dylan Carlson just improvises, just embellishes around this chord progression like a master. I'm sorry to be pretty blunt about it, but there's not much else I could say about this record because I kind of feel like I'm reviewing the same album again. Adrian Davis's drumming on this record, as usual, is very slow, patient, and on point. Love listening to her play under this stuff. But despite these pluses, I just feel like this album has a severe lack of new ideas for people who have been following Earth up until this point. I'm kind of feeling a strong 5 to a light 6 on this LP. Pretty lukewarm on it, but what did you guys think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? And what should I review next? Anthony Fantano, Earth, oh yeah, Caltruchesta, what do you think of Earth?
Professor Caltruchesta here, THC, at your surplus, here to tell you that after much research that I have done by myself, I have found Earth is where we live.
Thousands of man-hours poured into that research, I'm sure. Forever.